All right, it's going.
All right. Well,
Welcome.
welcome to the first episode of A Man and a Raccoon. I am Isaac, and that's Colby. Say hello.
Hello. I'm the man and
You
he's the
can't.
raccoon. No, moment we started, I lost it. It's fine.
You'll tend to hear that quite a bit throughout this podcast.
So,
Um,
yeah, the first episode is simply gonna be why? Why in the world did we call it A Man and a Raccoon?
well, we'll have to start quite a bit back. Um, Dates back to well, we're currently still in high school, but it dates back to about 2 years ago. No, 3 years ago. Whenever Colby and I first met. First, we weren't really talkative towards each other, but sophomore year was whenever we started to really come together.
And you know, as I don't want to say nervous habit, but I have a habit of talking to myself through things or when I'm bored. So, of course, I talk to myself in school, and people tend to notice. So,
Oh, well, that people in band, which is what class we had alike, started to notice, and I can't stop myself from laughing. This will happen quite a bit.
so
Um, People in band started to notice, and we started to make the joke that Colby had schizophrenia, and the joke kind of snowballed from there, going from Colby had schizophrenia to me being his imaginary friend, and then that turned into the whole band is not real. And then, when it finally ended, it went to Colby is holding a raccoon in the middle of a field.
and I'm
Um,
hallucinating the entire school day.
that is, that's how it started. And if you can take a wild guess who that raccoon is,
Well,
me.
I guess we should explain how you became the raccoon. So he had seen your pictures.
Your microphone went off?
Yeah, I know, I saw it. Is it
Oh,
going?
okay.
So
Yes.
he had seen your pictures this year in the middle of band. So of course we're like, well, where is he? And as we're walking down to the field, we see a raccoon. And our friend Dylan goes, well, that must be Dylan. That must be Isaac because he's going to get ready for band. And so then I texted him, and he has no idea what this joke is or what happened or anything.
I'm standing in the middle of gym getting my pictures taken, my senior pictures, look at my watch and see, are you a raccoon? I'm like, huh.
That is it.
Didn't know how to respond, so I just said sure. Oh, I regretted that. So I made my way down to the field later on, and I immediately get bombarded by, so you're a raccoon, huh? Where's the real Isaac?
And he has
And
no idea at all what it means. All he knows is that we just suddenly asked him, "Are you a raccoon? What did you do with the real Isaac?"
But yeah,
So
it's kind of how it turned into.
so it just kind of snowballed from there. Hence the name of our podcast, A Man and a Raccoon, because
Yeah.
as far as anyone knows, I'm still sitting in a field holding a raccoon. And no one knows different. Oh god.
But yes. So in case you or just a little heads up for anyone here, or for any of the listeners here, kind of we're gonna be playing a game called Smite in the background. So if we ever go silent at all, or we start saying random things, that's why.
It's more of a
Promise we're not
background.
crazy.
Yeah, it's more of a background for because we are Twitch streaming this. It's more of a background
Yes.
until we can get a camera, like an actual face camera, because it'd be kind of boring to see a blank screen and two people talking. So it's more of a background for the people watching the Twitch stream, which is why you can't hear it, because it wouldn't make sense for our audio listeners on Spotify and such to just be hearing the game playing in the background out of nowhere.
Yes.
But
So,
this is a temporary thing, and we apologize if we suddenly go silent. It is unintentional, and it is completely a product of the game.
but yeah.
Wow, we've explained our title way faster than I thought.
Well, it is an inside joke. We'll
It is.
slowly but surely explain all the inside jokes that we have.
Yeah, it's hard. The problem is it's hard to explain an inside joke without you 100% knowing everyone involved or knowing us, because we can, like, what we told you is basically what happened, but it makes so much more sense with everything leading up to it that if you think about it, has nothing to do with the joke itself. Like him going to senior picture. He's a senior, so of course he had senior pictures. That in itself has nothing to do with the joke. It just, but it does. It's what progresses the joke.
But yeah, let's go on from there then.
Well, the next topic I had was spam calls. Spam calls, scam calls, and robocalls. And I'll tell you where I got that topic from. So yesterday, we were actually going to do this yesterday, which was Tuesday. Today is Wednesday. And we were going to do it yesterday. And while I was setting it up, I get a call. Now, we both have vehicles. Mine is a 1996 GMC truck. So I get a call that says, we are calling on behalf of your car's whoever you bought it from, and would like to know if you want to extend your car's warranty or something. So, of course, I'm like, obviously I know it's fake, but my truck doesn't have a warranty. And if I have a chance at a warranty, so I answer the phone, get on with a real person. First thing he says, what's the make and model of your car? I'm like, well, it's a 1996. I didn't even finish. I got to 1990, click, off. And now I'm
Why
sitting
did
there
you
like, hmm?
Why did you fall for that, Colby?
No, I didn't fall for it. I just wanted to play along.
Ah,
Like,
I
what are
see.
they going to do with the information that I have a 1996 truck? Like, seriously, what can they do with that? But I was kind of hoping he could actually come up with something for it. Because that would have been funny if he's just straight up, yeah, we can do that. Even though he can't.
Scam callers, they come up with a lot of very interesting tactics. I was actually watching a video recently about some different things they do. It's kind of scary. They, depending on what it is, they'll install software into your computer, and it'll do stuff like gaining control of your computer, turning off your screen, stuff like that. It's crazy how much control they can gain.
Actually, I saw a video
And
like that.
maybe it was the same one, which is pretty weird because you know how like sometimes you'll talk about one thing and then you'll get an ad for that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's it applies to a lot of things, such as like
Maybe it's their fault?
I was more thinking like trying to think of the words. Let's see.
Yes, words are difficult.
Words are very, very difficult. It's one thing you'll have to deal with throughout life.
Ah, yes. Now we're
But
getting philosophical.
I don't know if I'd classify that as philosophical.
I don't know. That did get pretty deep. You straight up said, words are hard in life. Tell me that does not sound at least semi-philosophical. The
If your
intricacies of
classification of
life.
philosophical is kindergarten thoughts, then yes.
Leave
Go
me
on.
alone. Hey, kindergarten was great.
Yeah?
Except I didn't like
Do you
my
remember
kindergarten life.
anything from it?
Yeah, I know I got bullied.
You got bullied. I never
I got,
got bullied.
I kid you not, the only time I've ever been bullied was in kindergarten. And I'm not
Really?
even
What'd
joking
you get
about
bullied for?
uh I was short. I kid you not.
Oh,
So there was this
well,
I
you are
got
pretty short.
I was stuck. I got placed in the not quite there kindergarten class.
Ah, I see, I see.
And so everyone there was on the was not exactly kindergarten material, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even remember the girl's name, but basically I was shorter than her, so I was the easiest target. So she would bully me relentlessly over things I don't even remember.
It's always the girls.
Yeah. But yeah, I would be bullied relentlessly over I can't even remember over what. That is the only time I've ever been bullied, and it was in kindergarten. And that is the only thing from kindergarten. Hold on. I only remember two things from kindergarten. I take that back. The one time I got in trouble in kindergarten too. I remember that because that story is just weird.
Oh, go ahead and tell it. This is a podcast, after all.
Oh god. So
Well, how appropriate is this story, first of all?
how what?
How appropriate is this story, after all?
I don't
Or
know.
first of all?
Keep in mind I was in kindergarten, so it can't be that bad. But it gets
Yeah.
weird. It gets weird. It involves being shut in a bathroom.
Oh, okay, we'll pray not talk about it then.
No, it's fine. But like, so that
I
okay.
don't
I
want to
see
bring
where
back that trauma of you.
that sounds weird, but it was like completely harmless. We were
Well, yeah,
coming
you're in
back from
kindergarten.
lunch. Yeah, we were coming back from lunch and had to use the bathroom, me and my friend. But he didn't want to go back to class. But
Right.
since we were in the not quite their class, it was
Mm-hmm.
you had to stay together. So he's refusing to leave the bathroom
Oh.
because he doesn't want to go back to class. And they used to do the. Did your elementary school ever do the thing where they had like your names and they drop it down, and each time they dropped it down, it was a more severe punishment?
Yes. Yes, I
Well,
remember that.
it was that. And the thing is, they dropped me down to a warning, and I cried.
Oh.
But
I was a good kid too, it's okay.
so he's refusing to leave the bathroom. So I don't remember how we ended up leaving, but we left, and we get back to class.
Oh,
It
shoot.
it was only like 5 minutes late or something. It wasn't anything bad, and we were in kindergarten. But since he had to go to intervention, like the extra help class, after right after lunch, and he was late, since technically I was the most responsible of the two, I got in trouble for it because I was the yeah, I was the most responsible of the two, and I got my name moved down to a warning and cried.
Oh.
It was awful. But yeah, that is the only two things I remember from kindergarten.
I remember a few things. I remember my teacher, and my parents still talk about my teacher and how much they liked me, or how much she liked me. Her name was Miss Wood, but she got pregnant, and she never. How should I say this? She never returned. She took maternity leave, but I never saw her again in that school, and it made me sad. I think she moved schools or something. But uh, I'm cousins, so there's this fireworks store nearby, and because fireworks are illegal where we live, so we have to go to the county next to us to get fireworks. And our distant relatives run that fireworks store, but one of those said distant relatives was a teacher at my school, and didn't know that until I was out of elementary school.
Mm.
Anyway, getting sidetracked.
What do you mean sidetrack? We completely derailed the train.
That's the best part of this show.
I'm trying to think. What was our? Oh, spam calls.
But I'm not
Wait.
done with the story. Thank you very much.
Well, I'm just saying. How did we go from spam calls to elementary?
You know, I'm really not sure, and
But yeah, finish your story.
um, that distant relative, she's a teacher in the elementary. I don't know her name. I think her name's Miss Ferris or something. Something like that. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Where was I? I'm getting really sidetracked. And, give me just a moment, folks. Having to focus just a little bit.
All right. Trying to think. Fireworks. Fireworks were illegal where I grew up too. Although at the time I was
Illegal in a lot of places. Very
well, where I
understandable
live,
why.
yeah, where I lived, just about everything was illegal.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I guess I should say because that could be important. We did not grow up in the same place.
No, he grew up in New York, and I grew up
Yes,
down here in
upstate New
Knoxville.
York, and now we're in Tennessee. So his experience with things is different than mine in the sense that it was northern up there, and we had snow. Not so much like I wasn't in the city, so it's not that kind of different, but different nonetheless. Just in case that becomes important later. Oh, anyway, your story.
Well, makes
You got
sense.
distracted.
Yes. Let's see. So the distant relative, she always talked about how much that teacher liked me and how I was her favorite student, and I'm still her favorite student even after these 12 years of me not being there.
Wow.
But I don't quite remember too much from kindergarten. I do remember getting a Christmas book out from that class and laughing at all the butts of the characters. Yes, I know, very mature. And but then she got mad and she showed us like this autograph and it was like signed by Santa and we were like, whoa, and we apologized to her because we just made fun or laughed at Santa's book, something like that.
Oh, I don't even know where to take it from there.
I was a really good kid, basically, is the sum of that.
We both were.
I still kind of am.
Yeah,
Don't like getting in trouble. I like kind of like following the rules. Of course, I'm a senior now, so I don't care as much.
that's the
But
perk of being a senior.
yeah, you just kind of do whatever you want. Um, it's really nice being a senior, I gotta say. You'll like it whenever you get there.
Well, I got a couple more
You kind
months.
of just you can do whatever you want practically, and they won't question you a lot.
They'll only question
Teachers,
you
that
if it's
is.
like serious, serious.
Yeah, because you've pretty much earned the right to do whatever you want. So they don't really, excuse me, they don't
Es-
really question.
Especially after the ACTs and stuff that they put you through. I have not done ACT pre ACT prep. ACT prep. I have not done that yet, but I've been told
It's really useful. I would recommend to pay attention to it.
it's boring.
It is pretty boring, yeah. Pretty much only pay attention to the English and math one.
Ah, math,
Hate
yes.
math. Oh, I
I
hate
hate
math
math.
so much.
That makes two
The
of us.
ACTs, whenever I took it for the first time, which was recently, math was my worst score. It was, I won't say it, I'm too embarrassed by it. I won't say it's detrimental, but it's pretty bad. But, anyway, where was I? Yes, math. Um, Math's always been my worst subject. It's always been like, I always average kind of a C. I either never tried, or I was just wasn't good at it.
So that makes two of us.
Yeah.
What's your best subject? Now I'm curious.
Science, but I haven't gotten science in years, which is a big shame.
Oh, did you opt out of sciences?
No, eighth grade I got my high school credits.
Well, so did I, but I'm still taking one this year, and I don't have to.
Interesting.
But, like, I know you don't have to, and if you didn't put one on your transcript, they don't make you.
I'm taking a marine ecology class, but that's technically not a science anymore,
Mm.
strangely enough.
Oh, it's not?
Well, you don't get a science credit for
Mm.
it,
My
so it's just an
best...
enrichment.
My best subject is, other than the CTE classes, like the technical stuff, would have to be, social studies and history. Government was my best class. I ended that. I didn't pay attention all year and ended with like a 98 in Gov. That stuff just comes easy. Other than
Government?
that,
I liked
yeah,
government, yeah.
I did too. Other than that, it has to be my technical classes like automotive, and
I like automotive. I have automotive 3, which is 2 blocks.
I have that next year.
That'll be
So
a very fun experience.
the thing is, I'm not good with the terms. Like if you give me the term Phillips head screwdriver, I need to think about it. But if
Really?
you tell me put this together, I can do it instantly without questioning anything. If you point and say do that, I can do it no questions asked. But if you start telling me check the camshaft for this, I got no idea what you're talking about.
The only thing I'm good at is tires. If I'm gonna be completely honest.
Dude, I can do oil on
Oof.
cars in my
And let me tell
sleep.
you, oil is pretty easy. I changed the oil in my truck.
Wish I could
I.
drive mine.
When are you getting that fix, by the way?
Um,
That renewal,
it's
just to be clarified.
supposed to be the well, they said 2 weeks, and today marks a week. Actually, it's not anything illegal, so I can like tell that story right now if you got nothing.
Yeah, sure.
So, like I said earlier, I've got a 1996 GMC Sierra, however you want to say it. So it's an old truck. So I bought it off Facebook Marketplace. We go. It cost me 2,800. So we get the title and everything. I go to the DMV the next day. The guy who bought it, who was selling it to us, when he filled out the paper, he listed himself as both the seller and the buyer. So according to the DMV, he sold it to himself, and then I stole the truck. As far as they knew. So they're like, you gotta get him to renew it first. But on the same day, we registered my dad's Harley. So, and they told him getting the new title for that would take about 2 weeks, which is where we got about 2 weeks from. Like, they didn't tell us that, we assumed based on the Harley registration. But so,
Yes, but it's been close to 2 weeks so
it's
far,
been a
hasn't
week.
it?
It's been a week.
Ah,
Today marks a week, actually. But so, yeah, we give it to the guy that night, and he's like, yeah, I'll deal with it. And obviously, it's only been a week, so. But still haven't heard back, and I love my truck. But it's killing me that I can't drive it. Because right
like
now,
holding a piece of candy in front of a child.
yeah, because right now it doesn't have plates on it, so. But it's killing me not being able to drive it.
I'm sure when that time comes, it'll be good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. And the thing is, my dad is a contractor. That was my summer job, and might continue to be. This truck has toolboxes and a ladder rack. Like, it was, we bought it as a work, like, the guy who sold it to us used it as a work truck. Which is exactly what I wanted, because the older work trucks are built to last, and they're treated to last, because obviously vehicles aren't cheap, and if you gotta buy one just to haul material, you're gonna go through quite fast. So, like, it's built to last, and it's been maintained and everything. And I got it for 28, so I really can't complain at all.
That's a really good price for
Hmm.
a well-maintained car.
Yeah, I mean, it needs
Price to enter this game, by the way.
probably, but yeah, like, so I mean, it's got issues, but they're all basic ones. Like, it needs new tires, not tires. It needs new brakes. It probably needs the oil changed. It has no rear view mirror. You know, basic stuff. Also, how do you lose a rear view mirror?
How do I lose a rear view?
Like, you know the one that goes on the windshield, right?
How do you lose? What?
My truck doesn't have one. Like, it's got a spot, like, the residue from one being there is still there. So, like, there was clearly one at some point, but,
Uh-huh.
like, it's not there anymore. And I looked it up, and it's gonna be, like, $40 to get a new
Well,
one.
does the dude have like an answer to that? Like, does
No.
he?
No, he didn't even acknowledge it, is the best part.
It's like you did it by accident. It's like
Like,
whenever you break someone's things at their house, you
and
just
he
kind of
just,
like
like,
slowly set it back and you just ignore it.
honestly, I don't even think he noticed. Because he wasn't the one driving it, it was his employees, because it was a work truck.
Oh, interesting.
So the only time he has ever driven it was when he took his truck to the shop the day we went to get it.
And they didn't even.
No, he took his truck to the shop in his,
Oh, I'm sorry.
like, they didn't drop mine off. His wife drove mine. They dropped off his truck and they rode back in mine and then unloaded it for me.
Huh. Complicated process, but I'm sure it was necessary.
Well, it's one of those you need a vehicle to get home, but you also need to drop a vehicle off, so you take two.
Yeah.
And at that point, he's already guaranteed to sell it. Why mention a missing thing?
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
So, you know. Actually, I looked it up. In the state of Tennessee, you are not required to have one. You are required by law to have one mirror,
One me.
one.
Huh.
In it, some states it has to be the driver's side mirror. Tennessee requires one. Doesn't matter which one, just one. So
Does it have to be one of the mirrors or just a mirror?
no, I'm gonna take one of those handheld ones and stick it out the window every time I want to go somewhere. No, it needs to be an actual mirror. But that's
Okay,
exactly
yeah.
where I went. I'm like, I'll just buy one of the handheld mirrors from Walmart for $4 and just stick it out the window every time I want to merge or something.
Heck yeah, dude.
That's what we call a
uh,
pro gamer move.
so,
Pro
legally,
gamer.
you can drive your truck as long as you get it registered.
Legally, once it's registered, I can drive it, even without a rear view mirror.
Which would be nice to have, I can say. But,
Yeah, yeah, but legally I could smash one more mirror.
right, that's not too.
Oh, I'm not going to, but legally I could, is where I was going with it.
Tell you what, there's a lot of people I know that would probably do that and still not get it fixed.
Probably. I
So,
mean, I'm going to, but it's not my top priority because yeah, I don't need one.
right.
Like, like you know what I mean? So,
Sorry about that. But yeah, gosh, how did we get to that?
where did we even start? Oh
I
God.
think we.
See? And this isn't even a full we this is just winging it. I don't even know what happened. I don't even know what happened anymore.
I always like doing that in the middle of conversations. Just how did we get here? Because you never can remember. We were
Because
talking about
we
the ACTs.
no, we started with spam calls.
Oh my gosh.
That's where we started. So, I mean, this is exact see, this is exactly what we said our podcast was. And really that's what we wanted because that is the most genuine way. Like obviously people watch podcasts for entertainment.
Educational and
Ed,
entertainment.
yeah,
Education, entertainment. We're just talking.
and but the thing is, the way our conversations flow, it is entertaining in my opinion because just like when you stop and think, how did we flawlessly go from spam calls to trucks to a rear view mirror and whether or not it's illegal to have? It's quite amazing because you can't ever replicate it when you're trying. It just happens. And
I look forward to the future.
wait, what?
Oh, when I look forward to the future when this gets better and better.
Oh yeah, yeah, exactly. Oh, see, and even that we've got even though it's a small circle of support because we haven't really advertised the fact that we're doing it. The circle of support that we have is helpful. But then again, we have these conversations off camera, and that is what made us decide to make this podcast. It
I
just
still
occurred to
remember the
me.
night that happened. Colby was live streaming, and
I'll let you
we were
explain.
having the weirdest conversation. I don't even remember what it was completely about, but I remember getting off, and the first thing I say is, "We need a podcast to record these conversations." And after that, we slowly but surely planned it. We planned it while I was on vacation, and here we are today, making this podcast. And I'm very excited about it. And its sole purpose is to just capture the conversations that we have and see what other people think about him. Colby,
Yes.
do you like corn, Colby?
Do you want to hate me or want an
Depends on your answer.
I hate corn.
You hate corn?
I hate corn
Bruh, why?
because it's gross.
Corn's not gross.
I don't like it. Although, let
Fun
me
fact.
explain something. Okay, what's your fun fact first?
I don't. You can go ahead and explain your reason why you don't like corn.
It's not corn like that specifically. I just hate all fruits and vegetables. Like, you have to force me to eat fruits and vegetables. So, it's not just corn. It's just I don't like corn. You know.
Hmm. Well, fun fact, Colby. Seeing that you're the minority and not liking corn, did you know that corn is one of the top 5 most harvested grains out of the world? And that only like 20% of the corn that's like grown is actually consumable corn, and that the rest is just made into livestock food.
Real quick, can you hold that thought? My control.
There he goes. But yeah, I learned that fun fact in human geography, which is a incredibly difficult class I took my freshman year.
That was
And
difficult for you?
I found I found it difficult.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I told you, plot armor. Oh, I have a
Yeah, I
story
forgot.
for you after this. Anyway, finish your corn thing.
I don't even know where I was going with corn.
How it's
I was.
mostly for
Oh yeah,
cattle.
but I learned that fact in human geography. I learned a lot of stuff in human geography, like I don't remember anymore. All I remember is corn. Oh no.
That's the only thing of importance we learned in that class.
The only thing you need to remember is corn, but someone doesn't understand that because he doesn't like corn.
I just
Why?
dislike corn. Am I not allowed to have my own opinion?
No. You're
Oh,
supposed to like corn. That's just the law. I don't make the law. That's just what you're supposed to like.
I don't make the laws. I just observe them. Alright, now I feel the need to explain the plot armor joke. I don't necessarily try in school. Like, obviously, I do all my homework and stuff.
What the heck?
Like, obviously, I do my homework and stuff, but I don't actively study for tests and stuff. But I always seem to do good. Like, for example, I took a pre-cal test the other day. And actually, let me go to the most recent one that was yesterday. Yesterday, I had and took a AP US history test. It was on like Washington's presidency and like immediately after. I had missed 4 of the 5 days we learned about that stuff. Meaning I was missing 4 days worth of notes. And all of a sudden, my teacher goes, "Oh yeah, I'm feeling generous because my birthday was this weekend, so I'm gonna make it open book." So I go, "Well, I don't have the notes. Can I use someone else's?" He's like, "You have to use your own. I'm sorry." So I take this test without notes, knowing 1 day worth of material. I get an 82. My friend who studied for it got an 82. Like, I don't understand.
You're very lucky. Well, I kind of have the same thing going for me, if I'm gonna be honest here. I don't ever study for anything. It's
Mm-hmm.
the same thing with like practicing musical instruments. I
Mm.
don't think I've ever practiced, and yet I made it as a senior and I'm decently good. I think in school, as long as you understand like the basics of things, then you can kind of just get through it without trying.
Well, yeah, but the reason I call it plot armor is because it's always the lessons that I know nothing about. Because the other example I have for it is my pre-calculus test. I suck at math. There's no question about it. I suck at math. I again missed 4 days of lesson. Took a test. I got like a 79 on it. I had I didn't even have a day's worth of notes. I literally went in only being told what she told us as, quote, review before the test. And it was, some of it was multiple choice, some of it wasn't. I got a 79.
What?
Yes. No, seriously. That's why I say I have plot armor. I seriously will go into these things after missing school. Not even that I just didn't pay attention. I straight missed the lesson and will get a decent grade on it. That's
Well,
that's
aren't you Mr. Special?
that's why I'm so serious about my plot armor joke. Because it seriously is
Plot armor.
plot armor. Because how in you do understand the phrase plot armor, right?
I believe so.
Well, when
Probably.
main characters in movies and stuff just can't die, won't die, it's because they have plot armor. Without them, there's no movie. That's the theory behind that term. But yes, I swear to God, I have plot armor because no matter how hard I try, well, let me rephrase that. No matter how bad the situation is stacked against me, I literally cannot fail. And it's a gift. It really is.
Watch it turn against you.
Oh, it will one day. But the thing
Everything always
is,
does.
I'm afraid that what's gonna happen is I'm gonna get so used to it and it's gonna leave me. Because so far, every time it's happened, it's because I didn't have a choice. Like I had to miss school because of a possible COVID case. I had no control over that. It wasn't that I just didn't go to school or just didn't study. It was I seriously had no choice. And I was kind of rewarded or like it was made up for in my plot armor. So it's really I'm just lucky.
So you only get saved whenever it's like for an actual reason.
I don't know. I always make sure I know the material if I'm there. Because everything but math just naturally comes to me, so I've never like tested it. That's the thing. All I know is what's happened in the last couple days and this year as a whole. Everything that I have is just things I've noticed going through, if
Hmm.
that makes sense.
Well, we'll have to test out that.
Yes. We'll definitely get back to you guys on that. But yeah, I have plot armor and yeah.
Hmm. Well, I'm glad you explained what plot armor is now.
But yeah,
Glad I have that information.
but yeah, I'm going to start testing it out because I seriously, no matter how bad the situation is stacked against me,
I apologize for my silence. But coming to one of those times where I have to focus a little bit. But yes. You there, Colby? It appears he has disappeared. There
wow,
he
I
is.
love it when my headphones die. I have no idea what you just said. I was literally asking you a
Yeah,
question
the
and it
same
was
thing.
silence.
What was that question?
I feel like it might be important to the podcast, but you don't have to answer it. What are your religious beliefs? I feel like it might help knowing what is acceptable to talk about and not.
I have no opinion.
Hmm. Like, I guess more of a broad, do you believe in a god or no?
We'll talk about that in another episode.
Alright.
I have a few theories.
Hmm. Because, like, I have my opinion, but, like, it's not anything severe. You can definitely find the lull in our podcast, though. When all of our topics have just somehow ran out, finally.
Well, we'll come back.
Yeah,
We'll have to get used to actually be talking to a podcast.
well, actually, this is about when we'd have to end our show because my PlayStation can only record so much.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, the max is 60 minutes on a
Oh, we've already
on
been
the
going for
PlayStation.
that long.
No, it's only 43.
Oh, okay. Well, either
But
way.
if we start another long conversation and it rolls off, who knows when it'll end. So I think we stop this one and maybe think about the next one.
Yes.
All right.
Well, thank you guys for listening to the first episode. Hopefully you enjoyed. Give us your feedback.
Mm-hmm. And
We will have a way for you to actually talk to us sometime in the future. But
actually, I think it'll be on the sponsorship. If not,
oh,
this is
good.
gonna be weird. But the people we use is Anchor FM. If you download their app, they do have a message thing where you can send a message to different accounts. So they could theoretically message us, like send it'd be a voice message that we could then play in the show or something.
Hmm,
So there is a
interesting.
way. It's just a matter of how much work they want to put in. But yeah, this.
Well, either way, we'll find a way for you guys to contact us.
Yeah. Hope you enjoyed episode 1 of A Man and a Raccoon. And
And
we.
hopefully many more to come.
And we will see you next time.